everybody who's sneaking into the chat. Good to have you. I see a lot of folks that I've been seeing come back from stream after stream. That's awesome. Welcome to all of you veterans out there. Also, I'm spotting some newcomers too. Glad you found us. I hope that you're excited for a little bit of a wild ride today. Should be some good fun. Some last minute pre-strep. Music's too loud. Oh, don't worry. I can adjust that on the fly. Boom. How's that? Is that better? Better? All right, good. Good to hear. Well, rest assured, you're not going to be listening to this music and looking at this picture for the entirety of the stream. Just for a couple more minutes. I'll be right back, and then we'll get started. All right, folks, we're gonna get started right here. We're gonna change things up a little bit. I think we should kick things off with just a little bit of fans stuff. Fan stuff? Community content. That's what I mean to say. So let's have a gander at this bad boy.
Find him. I was just discussing it with my AI.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys. I got tingles. I got the tingles from that. Oh my gosh. Woo! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the official Rockfish Games stream of EVERSPACE 2. I am your host, Eric Schrader, your community ambassador, who tries to know everything. Doesn't always quite get there, but I live to serve you. And in this installment of our stream, you were just introduced to a beautiful fan trailer made none other by 8. Oh my gosh, so major, huge round of applause there. Just, wow, gorgeous. So good. So thank you for that content. Wow. I know some of you guys in chat were like, oh, it's too little, too LaVeo. Well, you know what? Believe it or not, there's more than just one person who has editing capabilities in our community. It's crazy, I know, but it happens. And also just throwing it out there, if you have some incredible skill at editing and dolling up screenshots and just like generally doing creative works that just give us praise because you love the stuff that we do, we want to give that praise right back to you and show it live on these streams, much like we just did there. So definitely be sure to hit us up if you end up making some sort of fan vid or art piece or whatever that looks like. And we would love to show it to everybody. It's so stinking good. Oh my gosh, I love it. So, what's on the plate today? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second. So, we are moving into early access, and by moving into, I'm actually saying that we are. Yeah. Whoa. Holy cow. Yeah. So, early access this week has been insane. Whew. I think I speak for the team when I just say thank you for so much of your support and your love and your feedback and your criticism and everything that you have provided us this week. Guys, we have exceeded expectations. It's been, I'm starting to tear up a little. Like, it's been insane this week. It really has been. It's been beautiful chaos. And I am actually tearing up, guys. This is ridiculous. It's been so beautiful to be a part of this with you all. Wow. Whew. Gotta get my composure. But yeah, like, the feedback has been just immense. Like, you guys have been pouring your heart and soul out over on the Steam forums. You've been chatting it up on the Discord. You've been giving us so much praise. It's huge, and we're appreciative of that. Also, keep in mind, we are just in early access. We need to keep hammering away at our game state so we can make this the best it can possibly be. Because we're in this fully. We want to make this. It's gonna breathe so much life into the world of space gaming when we hit that full release out in 2022, and we are excited on this journey with you. So thank you for being a part of that. And remember, don't just say nice things, tear it apart so that we can make it even nicer, okay? Good stuff. Whew, okay. I'm well composed, it's good. Everything's great. So where did we leave off when we were playing early access last time? I think we were in Union and then we dipped back because we wanted to change over to the Scout. Or maybe I was having a problem in the Scout and I wanted to change to a different ship. That's probably what it is. So we're gonna dive into there, and we're also gonna talk a little bit about like what's next, like the steps that we're moving in, where the game is gonna go in some time. And I also just wanna like cut to the chase really briefly and also point out like, I don't know if we actually know when the next big patch is coming, but do know that because of the tremendous amount of feedback we've received, we are hard at work on pushing another patch out, at least a hotfix out that's going to resolve a lot of issues that key individuals from key systems and operating, all that type of stuff in the background are going to be able to get fixed and play the game in a state to where it's not like just completely breaking. That is in the works. So yeah, we are absolutely on it. So thank you again for all of the feedback, all of the suggestions, all the ideas. You guys are incredible, and I love you. I really do. I love you guys. It's just remarkable. Whew. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in. I'm actually gonna load this save, just right before the last one. I believe I'm in the home base and I'm choosing a ship. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I have both a Scout and a gunship here. We were flying the Scout a bit. I think I'm gonna go back to the gunship because I'm scared. We're gonna go back to the gunship for a little bit. And I might end up picking up like an interceptor or something, just because I haven't played the medium ship class in a while. And we're gonna kind of float around and just kind of do things. We're gonna explore updates to Cedo. We're gonna explore updates to Union. I can even talk about like some of the stuff we've been tweaking along the way. So like Wow, oh yeah, the gamma, okay. That's gamma. That's a bad example. Hang on. Let's look at audio, for example. Okay, here we go. So you can see that we can actually click on these areas now. This is not something that's in your version. This is just a minor quality of life improvement that we are designing for the settings. So you can see that we are obviously moving forward with these little key elements that you guys have been addressing to move forward with. Lots of little things. I do need to just go through this list really quick. You know, we've been seeing a little bit of HOTAS issues there. We've gotten a lot of feedback on puzzles. Fast travel, that's something that's actually fairly close to it's like on the roadmap, like it's more priority than less priority. Trading and mining, these are also elements that are in the closer to than further out territory, things that are next steps that we do want to move forward with. As well as System 3? Yeah! System 3! We're already working on System 3. Oh my gosh, I spoiled it. So yeah, that is definitely in the works as well. So you guys are flying all about Union. You're already feeling good about that. At least for the most part, it seems that you do, which is great. There's still, of course, more coming to Cedo and Union. Like all of the updates we're moving forward with, it's going to be like a grand updating adventure. It's not an episodic release. It's not like you've experienced everything up until this point. We're still adding so much more. There's even going to be more key features that are implemented. Just a lot in the works. And now I do also have to mention some of the key pains that we've been struggling with, just so it's super transparent with you guys. Because that's the name of these streams here. Like I'm being real with you. I want you to know where we're at. I want to know where you're at. That way we can really bridge this gap to do what's best. So music died. Don't worry about that. Some biggest pain points. We've been getting a lot of concerns and we've been observing a lot of interesting situations coming out of regional pricing. We are aware of this. We've got our eyes locked in on this, and we are investigating this a little bit further, so that we might be able to make adjustments to this. I'm not 100% sure. There's a lot that goes on with this territory, and it's hard, right? It's pretty difficult. Because we're obviously not trying to like do any sort of like, we're trying to be honest. We're trying to like present our product at the price point that it deserves to be at. So we are looking into that, making sure that everything is where it needs to be for you guys to bring it to the bigger picture at hand. In addition to that, we have also just been looking at overall performance. That's been another key element that's been getting the hiccups for a lot of people. And so, I mean, we've seen everything and anything from the massive frame rate drops on Nefty's planes. We've got a lot of reports of that. Don't you worry. We hear you loud and clear. We also have frame rate drops over at Prescott Starbase, which maybe some of you haven't gotten there yet. But if you know what I'm talking about, it can be pretty catastrophic on your machine as well. So we are addressing that overall performance, not just those locations, but like as a whole. DirectX 12. A lot of you guys probably are familiar with this one as well. If you've been to the forums at all, there's some issues there. So we do recommend for a lot of Windows users to start up, add in the prompt the -DX 11 so that you start in DirectX 11 instead. In fact, I operate the streams out of DirectX 11 because when I operate out of DirectX 12, I end up having issues streaming it to you. So that's just, there's like a little issue there. We're working on it, rest assured. Also, HOTAS. HOTAS is another big thing that we are working on to make sure that it is more flexible. Gonna give Andy a shout out because he's been doing some pretty crazy work on the HOTAS. And yeah, there's still more coming in regards to that to make sure that it's all syncing up. There are a lot of default settings for your HOTAS controllers. So before you get on the forums and start telling us that we're doing it wrong, make sure that you've at least checked out those default configurations first and see if that's working for you or not. And if it's not, then absolutely go ham. Let us know your issues and we'll see what we can do. VR. This is a very, I think this can be a very touchy subject for some. And guys, I want to make sure you guys know, like, we are not like vehemently opposing a VR community or anything like that. That's not the point at all. okay? We have a stance on VR. We know our vision and what we want to accomplish within our game state, okay? It comes down to that. We've crunched the numbers, we've got experience behind our decisions, and we're sticking to it. So we've got our game plan. It's not that we hate VR or something. In fact, and I want to stress this even further, we will be looking at VR as a potential opportunity after the 1.0 release. So we're not even cutting it off of the table completely, okay? It still has a chance, still has a possibility, but there is no emphasis, there's no priority on VR at this point in time. So if you are on the forums and you've seen the massive VR thread, I implore you, don't start fights. Don't be like that, okay? People are people. We all know what we want, and sometimes we don't know how to put that into words, all right? Respect is the key to success. But regardless, we have made our statements already. You can actually see the verified answer in that thread if you have more questions as to the details of what that looks like from our perspective. I'm not going to read it all right now because I've already taken up way too much time at the beginning of this stream explaining this. But just know that that is another really big key element going on right now. Next one, multiplayer. You guys have probably heard a lot of the questions about multiplayer and implementing like even something as simple as a co-op support. This is also something that we take a pretty strong stance on. The answer is no. We are making a single player experience entirely circulating around your abilities, your cause, and your persistent world that nobody else is going to touch or mess with, all right? And we don't disagree that a co-op experience would be a bad thing for EVERSPACE. Like we really don't. Like we think that that could be a really cool space. It's just not in our vision. And simply speaking, it's not in the territory of where our funding is at. Just to get into it a little bit, adding multiplayer to a game that we have concocted at this point in time, we're basically, even like talking co-op here, guys, just simple co-op, okay? We're talking about the evolution of making twice as much of a game, okay? Like the development time, the costs, everything, it's almost doubling what we have projected as of right now if we were to go in that route. And it's simply not something that we want to undertake. It's simply, again, not within that vision. And so that's why we're moving forward as a single player experience, okay? So also please note that there will be more addressed about multiplayer in the future as well. So yeah. A couple other items, 2 more items I got. Actually, I'm gonna add 3 because I see a post in the chat and I'm gonna have a live response to you guys. It's gonna be awesome. So basically, another big one is capital ships. This has come up more than I think it should. I think this might actually show just how much of a variation the expectation is of our title versus understanding our vision. I'm not trying to like take shots, okay? We know that our game is very pretty and it does actually kind of look space simmy. I mean, for sure. Like looking at this, looking at your inventory, you're min-maxing all these settings, you're like duking it out and customizing all these things. Like we get it. It definitely has key elements of space sim. Like it's obviously, right? But please note that this is not a space sim. We're not trying to have you evolve and create like multiple fleets and like do all this crazy stuff. We are, I know that Eve is in our title, but we are EVERSPACE too. And you will not be piloting capital ships. That is not a feature. That's also, if we were to go in that territory, like creating an entirely new game inside of our game. So no, that's not the direction we're going. You will be in a fighter. You customize and choose what that fighter is, of course, right? Whether you want to be a big bulky dude or a little tiny guy or anything in between, and go from there. But capital ships are not something that you will be piloting in this game. It is a complete departure from the main focal point that we have moving forward. Last thing is puzzles. Last thing, puzzles. So we've seen a couple different threads on this on the forums to touch on it in a respectful manner. If this were a space sim, I completely understand where you're coming from regarding puzzles. If it were a space sim, if you want to experience a more realistic version of space, yeah, it doesn't make sense to have little targeted things to do at random that feel kind of random, that like take up time in order to unlock something or, you know, get value out of. But our mentality here is that, well, I mean, first, remember, we have to go back. We're not a space sim. That's not the key element of our game. We're first an arcadey spaceship looter shooter. And in order to get that loot, you have to have a lot of different content and locations in order to gain that loot. So it is very intentional for us to be dotting all of these different opportunities into the game space, seen as puzzles to some, yes, others as jobs, others as side missions. You know, there's lots of different terms. We could argue semantics all day about what that looks like. But at the end of the day, in an open world RPG, we want to give you things to engage with and solve so that you gain those rewards from it. So we'll also have more information on that as well. And again, like I'm not trying to like tell you like if you don't want puzzles in the game that you're wrong. I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm just trying to hopefully show you guys, we hear you, we understand what you're asking for. We think that the expectations that you have maybe should be a little bit more tempered. Please understand that we want to work together with you in order to make the best game experience possible. Puzzles are going to be a part of this game. But for you guys who do not like the puzzles, you will be pleased to know that very few, if any, puzzles are required to move the game forward. If you don't want to do a single puzzle in the entire game, you don't have to worry about it. You just fly around, take your photos, experience your joy with your HOTAS set up, and we're good to go, all right? So if we can find more middle ground solutions to that, we will as time goes on, but it has been good. All right. And then there was a post in the chat, and you guys have posted so many things, I'm talking way too much apparently. Oh yes. So the last thing I want to address is modability. So this isn't nearly as hot as a topic for us because, well, for a lot of reasons, but basically long story short is that we also think mod support would be amazing in EVERSPACE 2, okay? Let me just say that again. Hang on a second. Hold the claps. We also feel very strongly that mod support would be amazing in EVERSPACE 2. However, we have to have a game with content to mod first. So we are diligently working on providing more player ships, more enemy types, more locations, more things to do in general, in order to have a starting point of what that would look like. So as such, please know that mod support for us right now is a very low priority item, like super low, okay? All right, we're 20 minutes into the stream. Have I covered all the things that most people wanted to know? I'm taking care of you guys here, okay? How's your day? Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, aside from almost crying in front of like hundreds of people on, you know, an online stream, I'm totally great. Oh my gosh, it's been a wild week. It really has been. You guys have been so good, so awesome. So good. Thank you for asking. I really do appreciate that. Dual joysticks is the way. I think we have HOTAS set up. I think that's applicable, right? Do I have a dev friend in chat? Andy, do we have HOTAS? I'm pretty sure we do. Crafting is frustrating? Okay, fair. Can you tell me more? When will there be a discount on the game? Bro, we just launched. I mean, discounts, I mean, I do a comparison point with other games that have launched. I don't know. I know that we'll have opportunities and whatnot as time progresses, so no worries. Man, I hope that didn't sound like I was like attacking you. Certainly. Everyone's laughing in chat. Woo! I'm glad. Okay, let's see. Can we get fluffy dice hanging in the cockpit? So actually, I'm gonna wrap that up with another question actually, because a lot of people have been curious about more ship customization. And you know, as a whole, like we have the original styles, of course, the original styles that you find them in, and then you have your customization options. I've got a gold, silver, crimson, and then kind of a colonial sort of standard style look that I really liked. And there's a lot more coming to these. Obviously I can't show you because they're just listed as planned here. But yeah, I mean, just definitely know that we would like to include a lot more little doodads and trinkets for you to explore and plug in to your ship to make you have that really defined look that you're going for. I mean, you know that I'm speaking truths here because we added this new finish option. This was something that was largely desired. And you know, being able to change the roughness as well is like, I feel like that's a pretty insane bonus, just from the perspective of EverSpace 1 to EverSpace 2's development. So hopefully that's all looking pretty clean. There's a lot more to come here, guys, and it might not just be planned cockpit and planned ship modules. There might be another 5th item that shows up here. You never know. It's work in progress. So a lot more to come. I also do need one more clarifying point there. In regards to hanging dice, just know that there are a lot of additional little things, like in the form of hanging dice, that style of customization, that's a very niche form of customization as a whole for the game. And what we're really looking at is to do those more overarching, everybody can enjoy styled customizations first. All right? So I'm not gonna say that it's out of the picture because I don't think that's true, but it's not something that we're like, it's not like we're trying to figure out your 13 different type of dice that we want you to hang on your cockpit, right? All right, so there we go. Words have been spoken. Excellent. I also see that we've got a couple of my brother developers in chat, so thank you so much for joining and answering questions that I don't get to because there's just so much that we always have to cover. Every single one of these streams. Woo! I really do appreciate that. Big shout out, of course, to Michael, the CEO of Rockfish Games, for being present. That's huge. We got Shuzan, we got solid community members like Tulol Tulameo, who's answering questions. Hazy, of course, you all know Hazy, and if you don't, you should get to know him. He's a nice guy. I mean, frog. He's a frog. Oh, my goodness. I want a refund, no dice. You know what? That's fine. You can get a refund now if that's really what you want. Then you can buy the game later if we add it. That seems fair to me. Now, if you leave a negative review, I'm going to have some words for you, sir. Oh, my gosh. Stop playing the game just to watch me? Oh, my gosh, you guys. All right. So if you do have questions, keep throwing them our way. I'm gonna miss some. It's gonna happen. You guys are, there's the chat is vibrant and beautiful, and I love it. Devs, I know, are gonna help respond to those questions as well. I'm gonna try and pick and choose as I can, as I see them. If I miss your question, it's not because I don't love you and that I'm ignoring you. I only do that to Bloodstar. Otherwise, I will try and get to it as soon as possible. All right, so let's actually get into some gameplay. Yeah? Okay. All right, so first things first, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the scout and I'm gonna go sell it. What? Yeah, I'm gonna go sell this. I want an interceptor. I wanna go get an interceptor, or maybe a striker. A striker would be good too. So that is the first thing on our priority list. We wanna go look at that. Should be good. All right, so we're just gonna fly over in this direction. I don't even need to pin this on the map. I've done this route way too many times. And then we can do a couple of like the puzzle solving areas, talk about them a little bit. Negative reviews for no dice? No dice. Oh, I love that comment. Fins T, that was good. Thank you for making me smile. Still playing EverSpace 1 these days. Love it so much. Hey, that's awesome. That's seriously cool. I also like how I said that I've traveled this pathway so many times and now I'm lost. All right, here we go. Back down. There we go. There's the planet. Will the early access come to Xbox? No, it will not. Early access will transition all the way into the full release, and at the full release, we will be launching it on all the platforms and everything. We only recently added GOG to our list of platforms, and we also added, oh my gosh, what's it called? The NVIDIA thing. Guys, why does my brain turn off sometimes? Oh my gosh. GeForce Now, that's it. Everyone's screaming it. Thank you. GeForce Now, we are also locked in for GeForce Now. There's more to come, guys. There's more to come, but we will make the announcements when the time is right. We'll let you know all the things. It'll be great. Current plans for Endgame loot.
Left the DMZ, but I am certain you'll get there.
Thank you, Officer Shaw. So plans for the Endgame loot. I think that Endgame is so imperative in a looter shooter. I need you guys to raise your hands. Where are you at? Do you agree with that? Yeah, I certainly hope so. We absolutely have plans to make sure that when you reach an endgame state that the game is still enjoyable, the game is still playable. You're not gonna have to like go back to the main menu and say new game and then start from scratch and figure out a different way that you want to approach it. We want you to have meaningful content over and over there. And one of those things was successfully funded from Kickstarter, which is the Ancient Rifts. And the way that this is effectively going to work is it's going to allow you to go through a series of challenges and kind of like a capacity of EVERSPACE 1, actually. So it's like you're experiencing EVERSPACE 1 inside of EVERSPACE 2. So you open up this ancient rift and you go into Sector 1. And then you choose your route. And then you get sweet, sweet, delicious loot. And then you go into Sector 2. And you go into Sector 3. And you go into Sector 4. And there's going to be like big challenges along that way. And if you complete them, you get big old loot pinatas. All right? So now you're min-maxing all of your stuff. You're trying to like personalize, customize, and in other words, size your ship. Blah! That's what's going to happen throughout these runs. And it's going to allow you to get everything exactly where you need it to be. And you're going to be able to customize multiple ships in your hangar. Some people have been asking about the limitation on the hangar, like how many ships can I hold? That's still being dealt with. The number's probably going to go up, but at the same time, know that we don't want it to be like something absurd. We don't want you to be able to hold like 50 different ships. We think that might be a little bit hard to manage. You might think that it's awesome, but trust me, restrictions create opportunities here. So this Sentinel looks pretty nice. We also have this Striker. Not actually the biggest fan of its look. Somebody's dying inside because they're like, I love it. And then the other ones are scouts and gunships. So I think we're gonna go with this Sentinel one. We don't have enough money. Guys, don't look. Don't look. Look away. Hey, quit looking at the strip. Look away. Okay? Just don't. Okay.
So you've returned. And right on time, I'd say. We've got new assignments on the job board.
Oh, beautiful. Excellent. Well, hey, I'm going to purchase this Sentinel because I've been out grinding so hard, getting all of these jobs taken care of, solving puzzles. Oh my gosh. I have earned the purchasing of the Sentinel. Let me tell you what. Oh my gosh. So I think I'm just gonna buy and transfer the current to the home base. So we're just gonna immediately take off with the Sentinel. What is that hotkey? It's called dev key. That's the hotkey.
Status unchanged.
Excellent. Cheater. You caught me. It's not like I didn't help make the game or something. All right. All right. Let's see. So we are, I think we're going to pick up a couple jobs here. I have been a big fan of these item retrieval ones, actually. So we're going to do a couple of those. Maybe we can really focus in. Let's see. Do we have medicine? I should have checked. We might be able to get some ramen pretty easily. So we're going to do that one. Really focus in on this trading. Yeah, so we have this other acquisitions of goods. We'll take it for now. That's fine. There's a limitation of 4 jobs that you've absolutely made sure that you let us know on the forums. Thank you for that. Know that there is a large adjustment coming for jobs as well as to your reputation in the future. All of this is very work in progress. So know that that restriction of 4 will very likely be changed. We hate the 4 job limit. Oh, trust me. I've heard. At least once or twice or at least 100 times. We understand. Read you loud and clear. Okay. So, picked up some jobs. Actually, how are we at on our weapons? Okay, they're good. They're good enough. We need to collect some more goods, but it's fine. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna activate this signal decoder. This unlocks a high-risk area, so we'll go ahead and fly out there. See where it's at first. Excuse me. So whenever you activate, I saw some confusion about these Cedo signal decoders. Whenever you activate one, you are going to have a location called high risk area on the map show up. Here, let me try and do this where I'm not overlapping it. Right there. So these pop up. Yes, we understand that they are gray and they're hard to see in the mix of everything else. This is a very good point. You've made an observation on this. This will also very likely change. So thank you for that feedback as well. When these pop up, they're basically areas you go to just have a combat challenge. It's mostly combat challenge. Careful, no armor. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I'll be okay. But I also wanted to point out a bug actually that happens from these high risk areas. So we'll talk about that, what that looks like and what's gonna be done to change it. I missed a question about updates and how frequently those are going to be. At this time, I actually don't know. I don't know if I could defer to one of my allies, one of my rockfish friends in the chat, if we actually have a solid response for that. But do know that we have some very focused points that we do want to hit first, a kind of a hot fix, if you will, to make sure individuals are still getting into the game experience. That one will come out sooner than later, versus a content drop package, which will happen maybe in a month or two. It's really, really hard for me to lock down and give it an exact timetable because there's a lot we're working on, and that might change. There might be an opportunity to launch it a week earlier, a month later. A lot of that stuff shifts around. So I do really appreciate your patience and understanding as we navigate the space ourselves. The initial plan was to do quarterly. We'll see if that is what we can stick to. But yeah, so oh, actually, Dr. Uyu also states updates roughly quarterly. So roughly quarterly. I'm gonna call that the official response, but take it with a grain of salt. Okay. So now we are finally here in this high-risk area. We want to get some better stuff because our stuff on this particular ship kind of stinks. But it's also because it's not our main stuff. Our main stuff's actually over on the gunship. Oh, pulse laser's not going to be great on this guy. What's this? Energy injector? Thankfully, the Sentinel is way more maneuverable than that gunship ever was. Ooh! Ooh! Lime emissive color? Okay, I like that. I am a fan of the lime. That makes me feel pretty good inside. Okay. Oh, shields are there. Not, you're fine. Hive, you be quiet. Alright, there we go. Yes, absolutely.
That I certainly did.
Okay, so now we've got this Outlaw Destroyer. And also note that this is a part of a bug that I would like to show you guys that we do understand. Definitely something is going to happen in this situation here. And feel free to laugh if I can get it to trigger in a very hilarious way. But otherwise, just know that we are aware of it. Also, which new feature or concept are you most excited for in EVERSPACE 2? Oh my gosh. I actually really love the grappling systems that we've been working on. Like just being able to like fly in and out of spaces and then just like grab a drone, toss them away, have a strange interaction with debris. All that stuff feels really good to me. I really enjoy that. Okay, so you can probably see a little bit of where I'm going with this bug already. If you can't, I want you to note the movement of this destroyer. If I don't destroy him first. Okay, look at that. So see how he's like shifting around sideways and backwards and upside down? He's effectively moving directly away from me in order to evade.
Intercepted.
It's kind of intentional for this to happen, but also not really. So his maneuverability has created some frustration for some in order to complete these high-risk areas. We are aware of that. Wow, really up close and personal there. And if he happens, I wasn't able to reproduce this, but if he happens to fly backwards into an asteroid, it's just fun. I hope that you can find a video of somebody posting online somewhere who has seen this. Effectively, it's like the asteroid's here and the ship is moving backwards, and then it goes, woo, woo. It's pretty high level stuff, let me tell you what. So, yeah, be sure to look out for that one. Don't worry, we know. We are very well aware. And we'll see what we can do. If it's not already fixed, actually. All right, so let's go pick up our loot. Oh man, we got a lot of stuff. I don't really want a mine launcher, but I'll absolutely take more rocket launcher power. Cool. So as you can see from a high-risk area, you generally get a handful of loot. Sometimes it's really nice, sometimes it's really crappy. Oh, goodness. Boost emphasis versus balanced. We're gonna hang on to what we have. Oh, it's just a straight up bonus. Nice. Very good. Once had a destroyer fly out of bounds in the area. Yes, this is also a known issue. Thank you, Mafane, for addressing that. I also meant to talk about that. Basically, I can't remember who on the team posted my really crappy paint art, Microsoft Paint art on the rockfish fridge in the office space. You guys are mean. Basically, we have actually I wonder if I can find this picture for you. Hang on. This should be fun. Sometimes what we do in development is just so silly. Don't worry, this won't take long. Where is that picture? But basically, we were talking about what happens whenever your ship gets too close to an out of bounds, and I was like, well, hey, I have a solution, and I drew these 3 lines that showed the player boundary and the enemy boundary, and then like the enemy's turnaround location effectively. I know it's here somewhere. If this takes too much longer, then I'm just gonna, we're not gonna worry about it, but oh, come on, please, I wanna find it somewhere. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you, Image? Don't leave me hanging, Image. This was a long time ago, goodness gravy. But, oh, I found it. I found it, guys. All is saved. All is right in the world. Hang on a second. All right. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? I don't know if you can handle this imagery, okay? Here we go. Here we go. This is my high-level professional response to our player boundary issues that we were having. Super professional, okay? I'm talking like hyper clean, all right? This is the type of bullcrap you have to deal with in game dev. When you have punks like myself. But yeah, so it's good. It's good stuff. So know that that is also very much a concern for us. We want to make sure that you can go further than the enemies ever will be able to, as well as items. So the idea is that we contain the items and the enemies in a space closer, a more centralized area, if you will, whereas you can go beyond that. So no matter where the enemy is at, no matter where the equipment drops, you can get there. At the same time, if you go a little past that, you will still turn around and come back. All right, now that you've seen my expert, actually high-level tier, quality assurance responsorial messaging system. Whew, bringing it back into the game. All right, Yeah, I should have made that in 4K resolution. You're right. What was I thinking? Oh my goodness. All right. It gets the point across. Thank you. I really appreciate that. All right. So let's go do a job. What is this? Some kind of low-level space rainbow? Dad, why did you show up? Goodness gravy. Don't you have to like mow the lawn or something? I love my dad, for the record. All right. Will there be an option to sell ships? Valid question. So we're not really thinking about ships selling as a as like part of the commodities system within EverSpace 2. It's not something where you want to be like a wheeler and dealer of spaceships. That's an interesting concept, though, that you bring to the table. Mostly, the main focus that we've been putting emphasis on regarding buying and selling and trading has been on commodities as well as resources. So there may be certain locations that have a prominent resource, right? And you could put emphasis in certain mining abilities, which is coming soon. That's like our next priority targets, is mining and trading. Both of these things are in the works, so that you can capitalize on those situations and extract those resources. Then from that point, we want it to be where you'll have certain opportunities at certain stations, like you'll know specific trade lanes, certain factions that desire certain resources over others. So perhaps, like the station in Ceto orbit that's really close to the sun, maybe they really need water, okay? That's the best example I'm gonna do. So if you bring them ice crystals and stuff like that, they're gonna be like, yes, thank you. Here's 1 billion credits so that we can actually drink and retain our life status. Versus if you're flying, into like this crystalline ice world place with a station nearby and you're presenting them with ice crystals, they're gonna be like, I'll give you half a penny for that, right? So that's very much an effect of what we want to push regarding trading and trade lanes and resources, so that you can capitalize on those. Now, the degree of what that looks like, guys, I want to just put a lot of emphasis here. This is work in progress. Even the first time we start implementing this, it might not be like super diverse. It might seem kind of neutral ground territory. So just know that this is something that's going to evolve over the course of development. But yeah, rest assured, those are the concepts that we have on the table, so that there is a trade lane system, there is mining system that you can utilize. Eric says 1 billion credits. We will remember. Now, also remember that that was an example as I'm talking about a work in progress build. You keep all those things together, we're gonna be victorious. All right. We gotta find the stolen container. We're gonna keep going. When does it come out for PlayStation 4? We will have more announcements pertaining to consoles in the future. But my strongest understanding about all our console releases is that it's happening at the same time as the 1.0 release. And if I just misspoke, Michael, feel free to slap me across the Ethernet. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at shooting this out of the ship. That sniper. Oh my gosh, we should not be here. This is a very dangerous territory. What was I thinking? Okay, Demolisher. Let's do this. Now, the reason I was strafing back and forth, for anyone wondering, is because he launches mines as you're battling him. And I did not want to get hit in the face with one of those. So I was just employing some simple maneuverabilities so that my life status, as I mentioned before, who says that? We're retaining life status, boys, all right? That's how it be. Okay, we have our sealed container. We need to get rid of stuff or move things around. We're gonna start scrapping some stuff. Oh, I can't dismantle yet. Oh, that feels bad, man. That's fine. We're gonna dunk some things. It happens. Okay, doing this again. These ravagers. Oh, our shields are taking a massive beating.
Sometimes. Just fire at the red targets.
Ooh, ouch! That was a lot of damage. That was a lot of damage. And we have no nanobots. Yikes. Eek. Okay. All right. Well, at least we haven't implemented the lights flashing yet. That could have... What if I told you it's in the works? All right. Can we best the rest of these foes? We don't have to, is the good news. Let's see what this is in this container. Some iron. We want the iron. Let's get rid of this energy core. Man, I'm getting rid of so many things.
Credits, nice and simple.
Same exact thing, not even worried about it. All right.
Simple.
Beautiful. So Michael, CEO of Rockfish Games, he has actually responded regarding to our release schedule, our 1.0. And he says the plan is to ship version 1.0 on PC and console, but it really depends how well porting goes. And that is actually, yeah, that's a really good point I should have mentioned. So we do have, obviously, we have over a year's worth of development time still to work on this. If any of you have any knowledge at all about porting from one platform to another, or going from PC to console, there's a healthy process behind that. So it's not something where it's like you just push a button and it's like, now you can play on Switch. Like, it doesn't work like that. So, but just do note that the plan is to have a simultaneous launch. So we'll try and hit that as closely as possible. Hiccups will probably happen, but rest assured that is the game plan. Man, this ship got whacked. Ouch. I really have to get better at using my low-level sentinels.
It's settled.
Okay, good.
PC is still priority number one. Effectively, yes. It's kind of weird saying that because that implies that the other systems aren't priority. Just keep in mind that the focus, the controlled environment of development, if you will, is all through PC, because this is where we can maximize opportunities and invest as many systems as possible. And from that point, that's a great staging ground in order to see what that's going to look like on our various consoles and other platforms, right? So it's, in a way, you could almost call the PC as a guinea pig. But yeah, I mean, we have to invest all of our time and energy here first, and then that's going to be our jumping off point in order to like really get those solid elements everywhere else. Okay. Will there be New Game Plus? I've been seeing this question a little bit more lately. I guess my question back is, what do you expect that to look like? Probably not a good spot to start talking about that during a live stream, because that can open up a pretty interesting floor. But if you have some really strong thoughts on what a New Game Plus would look like, go over to the Steam forums. Go to that suggestions location and say, this is what I think a New Game Plus would look like. As it stands right now, I will say that we don't really think that there's a lot of space for a New Game Plus in the game. Just to give you a general concept so we don't like hit this forever. Basically, when you experience the story and you come to the end of it, there's still going to be in-game content to do more. So you don't have to like start it all over again with everything that you retained from the first time and do everything again, because now we've got to re-optimize everything as though you had it from the very beginning, which we're not doing. The simple matter is that part of the story is meant to be a progressive experience to introduce you to new concepts and ideas in a generalized capacity so as to not overwhelm you. So if you want to dive in on that, I implore you, go to the Steam forums. But at this time, New Game Plus, we don't necessarily feel that it's a significant thing, an important thing to worry about at this time, especially. Okay, so we're gonna sell some stuff at the shop. I really like my sticky turrets. I really want those. And we're also going to use, oh, whoops. Oh, that's a lot of iron. We're gonna use that for our perks. What do we got here? Aethium crystal shards, iron. Let's finish that off. That feels good. Of course, I get this after I repaired my ship. That's fine. That's fine. It's not like I didn't cheat for the credits or something. Oh my goodness. Put all of the extra goods in there. Solid. More credits, Aethium crystal shards. I love it. Already got that one. Good. Perfect. So now we've lightened up our load a little bit further. Let's see if we can find, do we have, yeah, we have a cargo unit. Absolutely get in on that so we can start scrapping things for parts. Some people have already commented a bit on the crafting system, and there have been meaningful complaints regarding it. For those of you who aren't familiar with the crafting system, basically the way it's designed is that the more you use it, the more you get out of it. So if you are crafting a bunch of low-level stuff, you're only going to get low-level stuff out from that, but you can start getting very specific stuff based on the directions you take that. So it's going to start getting better and better so that you're not just improvising something at random, you're actually going to have more control over what that looks like. And then those respective tiers will increase as you start scrapping higher rarity items as well. So in the case of this, if I very specifically wanted to make a uncommon pulse laser, I actually have the means to do that. Or I can just create a random uncommon weapon. Who knows what I'll get? Maybe it will also be a pulse laser. And this just keeps going for each one of the respective rarity tiers. Same thing with secondary weapons, same things with modules. It all works within that same sort of capacity. In addition to that, we also have modifications that also use those same crafting components that you are collecting as you're scrapping things. So this allows you to both increase the rarity and adjust the level of the item. And now we are not done completely with all of these systems of crafting. I'm not going to call it in its rawest form at this point in time because we have been putting a little bit of work into it. But there are going to obviously be tweaks, modifications, and maybe even more options that come through crafting along the way. So that is how it's currently working in our game state. If any of you were curious. Adapt item means reducing the level. So if it's too high, you can actually use it beforehand. Upgrading level increases it by a level. Pretty straightforward. Increasing rarity, straightforward. So that's how crafting currently works. And the main concept to keep in mind about crafting, the goal of crafting, we're also going to change the colors. The goal of crafting is that you then tell the game, I'm sick and tired of your RNG bullcrap. I want this item and I want it now. And you can make that. You can get that immediately. Oh my gosh. The Golden Sentinel is hot. Woo! Also like the silver though. That also looks pretty clean. All right. Oh wait, actually, if we edited this, don't we have these lime lights now, right? Where are my lime lights at? Oh yeah, you can see it in here. That looks cheesy. Hang on a second. Can we adjust this at all? We don't need a logo. This is fine. What colors do we have? Yeah, that green's not really going to go over well with too much stuff, unfortunately. We might be able to make it work. Hang on a second. Let me try something here. If this could be green right here, I think that would make me feel so much better. This isn't too bad though. We got a little bit of green popping with that white and blue. We can roll with this, right? That seems nice. That seems all right. Maybe we make this a little bit darker, a little more metallic. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with that. This is good. Good for now. Of course, I forgot to choose the color layout after I made it.
Welcome back, Mr. Roslin.
Thank you, Officer Shaw. I really appreciate that. There we go. Much better. All right, beautiful. Also know that, like, the green colors that we chose, those emissive lights also apply to the cockpit, and all the colors internally also are getting changed. We might have to address that. That's some low details going on. Cockpits aren't done, by the way. There's a lot more to come. But yeah, I like this. I like this a bit more. So let's do another job. Missions. Oh man, we still have a lot of side missions. Item retrieval. We can claim those rewards. Let's go ahead and track this other one. Get going. Green, silver, white. Ooh, that sounds really good, Jane Arnold. Hold on, how come you only have 2 decal options? Because we're not done. Oh, actually, I know why, Spoot Knight. The reason is because this actually brings up a really curious point. It's because I'm using an older save file. So I have the ability to do this because I am attempting to break the game in certain capacities. If I were to start a new save file, I'm very confident that I would actually have more of the more of those styles that you probably have yourself. But I made a post actually in the Discord kind of explaining what happens when you take a save file and you push it into a new dev build, or even just to a new complete build, right? Made this post in the Ask Questions channel, and I pinned it because somebody had pointed out that it was a really nice representation. Basically, when we update the game, it's not just adding more content after where that save would be. There's also content that's added before that save as well. So by pulling over that save file, you're actually missing out on content. So because I'm using an older save, I'm actually I'm missing out on content, but for the sake of the stream, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, for the sake of your enjoyment, we absolutely don't want you missing the new content we have. So, this is why we are strong advocates of restarting new games whenever we update the game. And also why we will very likely wipe the save file completely at major updates. Because honestly, if we try to carry that over, it's gonna do more harm than good. It really will. And we don't want that to happen.
Got this.
Oh my goodness, this guy. I should not be talking while fighting. That was damaging. Let's get a little closer to our ship. The blue, green, orange diagram, yeah. Oh my goodness, Fins, thank you for that praise. I just figured it was easier to draw out since, you know, I mean, you saw my exquisite space rainbow. I've got the stuff, let me tell you what. Oh, good, static overload. This should rectify some situations. That's better. You survived. There we go. Ooh!
In my favor.
Hey!
The imaginary pendulum of chance, I take it.
We just got forest green to complement our neon lights. Oh my gosh, we're gonna immediately paint our ship up with that. That is awesome. That also sounded like I said something different. I assure you it was ship. I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching. I can only hope people are not colorblind. Hey, it happens. It's fine. Plus, we are also, that also brings up another point of accessibility, though. in regards to actual color blindness, we do want to make sure that we are addressing that. We did so lightly in Everspace 1. We got a bit of criticism for how we approached that. So do know that we will be taking that, we've taken that feedback pretty seriously. And we want to make sure that we have more accessibility features as we move closer to full release. All right, all the enemies are dead. That's my favorite type of enemy, is a dead one. So we're gonna head back. Whew. Oh, Hive, he's back. Yep, spoilers. Spoilers? A little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's spoiler territory, but hey, let me tell you what, guys. If you're doing an early access project, you're gonna see a few spoilers. There are some story spoilers that I actually intentionally left out from the streams, by the way. Intentionally left out from the streams. If you would be so kind as to not just go onto the internet and be like, this happens to this character and you do these things, that is greatly appreciated. Also note that we are not silly buffoon developers. We're not gonna give you all of the story before the full game releases. There is going to be a certain point where we just cut you off from the story, and you will still have access to the content to explore and experiment and provide feedback, but the 1.0 release is where you will be getting the full story, all right? You're not gonna get that until the 1.0
This
release.
Nefty Station?
You're speaking to Nefty Station?
Job's complete. Good. I want my payment.
Signature's fine. Here you go.
I want hardcore mode. All right, and that seems fair. In the meantime, just delete your save whenever you die. Pro tips. But otherwise, yeah, I'm not really sure what I can say to that. This Old Forest livery. Kind of give it more of a plastic feel. That's not bad. This works. Or maybe, hang on a second. Maybe. Hang on. We're exploring here. What are our options? Hang on. What if we get this? Is that too much? That might be too much. But there was info, the story in early access is 35% done. So you cut us off at like 50%, 65%. I don't know when we're gonna cut you off, but we are going to make sure that we're not just like giving you all of the story, right? I don't think that's fair to you, because then like your expectations in the 1.0 release, especially from that narrative-driven experience, it's basically been shattered, right? So that's kind of rude. Now, if you're along for the ride to help make sure all of the foundational systems are working as intended and making sure that the core pillars have been reached and everything like that through early access, like that's really the main goal, right? Is to get that feedback to make sure that it's popping, right? Silver instead of gold. Let's try that. Let's try that. I do think I like the silver more than the gold. I think the gold's a little too much. It's a little bracing. So we'll go with this one for now. We'll see what other colors we unlock. But man, I really like the light green, the neon. That feels good. All right, cool. We also need to repair our ship before we go flying again. And is there any armor in here? Do we okay, we do have plating. Let's go ahead and buy that. And let's see, we'll scrap the blaster, homing missile launcher. Go ahead and use that instead. I really am not a big fan of cruise boosters in general. They do have their place in the game, but for this particular build, no thank you. All right. Let's do another job. Old Forest point 2, please. Oh, gosh, dang it, I'm sorry. I missed it. My apologies. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting to claim my rewards. Okay, so now we need to track the ramen delivery. We'll go back to our home base to see if we've got the goods themselves. I don't think we have any ramen, but I know where we can get some. I absolutely know where we can get some. if we don't have any in our home base. Ramen. I know, right? Wait, right there. Okay. Right. Neat. Oh, wait, what did we miss? Oh. Unknown signal? I'm not worried. Did I just hear ramen delivery? Yes. Somebody out there's like, so you're saying this game is just a space version of Uber Eats? Wow. Well, I guess you could look at it that way. And before somebody comments on like, their review is just like, in regards to the quality of how this is a simulation of Uber Eats in space, I have thoughts. Oh my gosh. Woo! Is there a document that explains the crafting so I could get a handle on it? I am your document as of right now because we don't have any in-game, any things that really explain it too much. So basically, we're gonna do this real quick. When you deconstruct something, when you deconstruct specifically an item, not a commodity or a resource, it will give you crafting resources back. When you get those crafting resources, then you can spend those resources in order to make it. I need to remove my face. Hang on. Boop. So in the lower right section here, you'll see that there are those crafting ingredients down there. Those varying crafting ingredients are what you need in order to craft a thing. So like if I were to craft this pulse laser, I'm spending those resources and I gain this. When an item is crafted, it has this little modifier on it. This means it has been modified. When an item has been modified, you cannot do any more crafting on the item. Okay? So now we have it, we crafted it, we can use this. It's technically better than the pulse laser we have, so we will use it. But we can't modify. Like you see the R button there? Oh, whoops, I pushed the wrong button. Pushing the R button here, it says this item has already been modified. Items can only be modified once, okay? So the modification system also uses those same crafting resources that you saw before. This one has a green border, which means it's a higher rarity crafting ingredient, which goes into the next element. Whenever you craft a higher tier item like this, you dismantle this, you'll see that we have higher crafting item tiers. So the higher the item is when you scrap it, the higher crafting ingredients you get for crafting higher rarity items. So you can see right there. So you can keep going up and up and up, higher and higher and higher to craft better and better stuff based on what you are scrapping. So it's a system that gives back the more you put into it. And it also allows you to have more control over the equipment that you have, as opposed to just relying on RNG. It's meant to be a complementary system through your progress so that you can always get something more akin to what you're looking for, as opposed to being forced into what you find. We're still working on it. Hopefully that covered everything. Hopefully. If you have more questions, by all means, please ask. Can you upgrade materials between rarity? At this point in time, no. You need to dismantle 7 items to unlock the first blueprint. Oh yeah, one really important thing that I did actually skim over. So the blueprints, they give you control over specifically what you're crafting. So if you look at this one, my body's blocking again. Hang on. All right. So if you look at this one, we don't have the beam laser blueprint yet. In order to get this, we need 70 crafting experience. You get 10 crafting experience when you scrap an item at that specific rarity. So I've scrapped 5 items. I need to scrap 2 more in order to build out this specific blueprint, so then I can start making this specific item. I do have the pulse laser blueprint unlocked, which is why all I need to do now is use those crafting ingredients in order to create. Woo! Now, guys, I know I spent a lot of time in the crafting menu there. I just want to put a lot of emphasis here that this is probably going to happen a little bit during these streams, because emphasis is really helping you guys understand the game space, what that looks like, providing clarity. We will absolutely get back into blasting stuff. I just wanted to make sure that we're giving a nice, thorough overview so you have the deets you need to know. Also, please be aware that, of course, we will be implementing more systems in place to help you have a better understanding the first time you come across these systems within the game space. Be it through tooltips or a tutorial mission, perhaps, we will make sure that you have this understanding delivered to you by the game and not have to go onto an online wiki and figure out how in the world am I supposed to control and do these things. We don't want that to happen at all. We're really going for an intuitively designed game. Okay, so, and actually, Hazzy's pointing out that it'd feel better to buy these weapon blueprints at some sort of crafting place we dock at rather than just randomly get them on the fly. Actually, we have ideas. I can't be too revealing in these streams, okay? But know that we are going to be doing some things, and thank you for the feedback. That's what I'll say. All right, what are we doing? We're looking for ramen. Do we have any ramen? Oh my gosh, we don't have anything in our storage. Goodness gravy, what are we doing? I'm a hoarder. This is actually garbage. So we're gonna have to go get some ramen. We have liquor. Not quite the same thing. It has some similarities. Start a rock collection over here. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go over to Union, and we're going to go to a ramen stall. That's what we're gonna do. The map is a 2D plane. This has been simplified for easy navigation. 3D maps are really cool. They look great. Don't get me wrong, Booger. Your name is Booger. Your username is Booger on the internet. Don't get me wrong. 3D maps are super cool. We are going for a simplification here since it's an arcadey spaceship looter shooter that we want you to be able to dive in and play pretty quickly. Jump gate animations. Gosh, I love that. Oh man. The first time you guys jumped, like when you approached the warp gate, did you get the feels? Did you get the feels? I got the feels. All right, let's go to Prescott. There's way too much space. Oh, dang it, you're right. All right, I'll tell the team to start deleting locations that we built out. That's not how space works. All right, so let's go over to Prescott. This will be the first time we show Prescott during the live stream. Hey, that'll be fun. Will we be able to increase level and rarity at some point in the future to avoid being stuck with certain items that happen to be too good and lag behind? So, Fantex, with the crafting system, we want to make sure that it is a complement to where you're at. We don't necessarily like the idea of like finding an item at the very start of the game and then constantly upgrading it, level it up, upgrade. Like, we want you to explore new stuff that you find. So there is a limitation to what you can do with modifying. That is intentional in our design. Ultimately, we want you to go out and find new things. Now, that being said, if you are investing a lot of time in crafting, we also do want to reward that, give it back to you, so that it's not a bunch of wasted materials, right? So rest assured, we hear you. We are looking into what possibilities reside in that territory and making sure that it is a complement to the player looting that we are designing in the current game space. Oh wait, are my ramen stalls disabled because I completed the missions? I think they are. I can go to Kato Palace though. What's up with that? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Prescott Starbase. This is a pretty wild place, to be honest. Yeah, I think our ramen stalls are closed. That's gotta get fixed. We gotta open up all the ramen stalls again. Team, get on it. I could feel Andy facepalm right there when I said that. We have a black market dealer though. We got little ships pew-pewing around. Look at this. Look at this little guy. Oh my gosh, look at it. It's just so cute. It's so cute. What a cute little guy. Oh my goodness. What's that say? Perfect. Lots of little ships. Somebody's gonna ask, what happens if you destroy them? Well, they just blow up. It's early access. I just murdered somebody. Maybe it was an automated drone. I don't know. But nobody cares. I can freely do this, and I won't get in trouble. I say that and I actually just got in trouble. My wanted system is now at 1. But there will be more interactions to make the ramifications of said actions be a bit more... okay, all right, okay. Good demonstration, Eric, good job, all right. Very nice. Anyway, 937, I was looking at it upside down, fair. Okay, well, we're gonna take out this Okar drone because that shouldn't increase my wanted level. They're just drones. Also, why would you drop a mine in a city? That's so dangerous. All right. So no ramen stalls for us. So instead, it's just a sweet look at Prescott Starbase. And a lot of the details of how we've kind of been coming together. Bringing it all nicely. There are civilians present, Okar. You need to calm down. Actually, can you fly through here? I forgot. Ah, yes. Bob and weave, go through the various ports. Look at this, a power socket location. Secrets. Secret, secret. So definitely make sure that you are exploring everything that Prescott has to offer. This space is pretty big. It's a pretty big space. That's a wall. It's an unfinished wall. Don't you worry about that. Oh, oh, outlaws in Prescott? No. Okay, looks like we got anti-missile drone. What are you doing here? All right, perfect. Now after all of that, we'll go ahead and head to the G&B office on the other side. Maybe there's some more jobs that we can pick up over there. Big old G&B building. Whoop! Flew right past it. Try that again. There we go.
Welcome to the G&B Bureau of Prescott Starbase. We receive a lot of inquiries, so please be brief and to the point.
I'm hoping to do some business without registering, if you know what I mean.
You're looking to trade off the books, is that it? Well, we are in the DMZ after all. Rules are there for bending.
I'm thankful that you see it that way.
Just don't push your luck.
Actually, this is a little more telling of G&B than anything else, I think. So I know some of you guys had a certain viewpoint of G&B from EVERSPACE 1, and you'll be pleased to know that nothing's really changed too much in that field. Good old G&B, nice and neutral. Absolutely. Palace has ramen. Oh my gosh, it does? How do I not know this? Thank you, Dan. I'll go inspect the palace to pick up my ramen. The clerk is cute. Guys, you know what? To each their own. I think she's a nice 5 out of 10. It's okay. You know, don't let my critical judgment of a character portrait defer your standards. Okay. Let's see what types of jobs we have. All right, so we've got a few more jobs here. All of these are also G&B. Of course they are. Now we talked about this a number of times, but this reputation system is not done. This is not going to be the only 3 subclasses that you experience. So do know that there's more coming in regards to all of these. But since this is a GMB facility, of course, it's also going to be met with GMB mining, trading, and defense. I really want to push more reputation with trading, I think. Actually, we need to claim these rewards. We got liquor and clothing, the only 2 things that you need to survive. One of them's optional. Let's see. So let's go with... Actually, we'll kill our other job. I don't think we're going to get ramen. Well, no, we are going to get ramen. Never mind, sorry. We're going to go... You can really tell I'm doing this on the fly, because it's like, I had a plan. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this thing. And it's like, now we have to go pick up some jobs. I don't know what the heck I'm looking for. I'm scratching my head. It's fine. It's great. It's great. All right, we're going to get some goods. I do love the item retrievals. They're kind of my favorite because you get like a nice little combat challenge and then you get to take something back. It feels nice. I don't know. And then lost cargo. That's always nice. We'll do that. Okay. So let's go get some ramen. Next stream, I'm literally going to have ramen. I'm going to be eating it. You guys just wait. It's going to happen. All this talk of ramen. Oh my gosh. All right, Kato Palace. You guys said this has ramen. It better have ramen. I haven't been here in a really long time, so liquor. Goodness gravy. Oh my goodness. You are my brother. I trusted you. That's fine. It's fine, guys. Let's keep going. Yeah, there's missions there. We're gonna go. We're gonna find some more jobs in the area. Okay, so we are able to go Avon Rest. Okay, Avon Rest is a really nice location. We're gonna go there. Where's the Avon Rest one? Untracked. Right there. Beautiful. We're running late with our medicine delivery. Oh, dang it! It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's totally happening in every capacity that I wanted it to do. Let's go get some lost cargo. Goodness gravy. All right, let's answer some questions because it's been nonsensical. Okay, I'm gonna answer some questions. Spanish language for 1.0, yes, absolutely. It was already answered, but dang it, I want everybody to make sure that they know. In fact, what I can do really quick while we're flying through space is I can pull up the other languages that we will have support at 1.0 at this time that we know. So let's see. Frequently asked questions. So, are you ready? UI and text language support for German as well as professional voice dubbing. And then we'll also have simply text language and UI for French, Italian, Spanish, Brazilian, Portuguese, Polish, Russian, simplified Chinese, Japanese, and Korean. There you go, folks. Those were all the languages that are on the books right now. What is coming to EVERSPACE 2 full release?
Cargo has to be somewhere around here.
Maybe there could be more added. Maybe more. It's a possibility, but let's not get too crazy. Derek Hoagland. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine feedback. That's good. Not a fan of the lost cargo jobs. Yeah, it sounds like you want something a little bit more active, and I think that's good. I mean, a big part of the game is really making a combat-rich experience where you're engaged with things that are interacting with you, as opposed to just like seeking things out as kind of like an explorer, right? So I totally get you. I totally understand. It might just be that there's going to be certain jobs that you enjoy over others, but we will continue tweaking all the jobs to make them more exciting, more meaningful, more valuable. So thanks for the feedback. Our equipment's much better. That was not nearly as hard as it was before. Only on full res. I might have to defer to Michael on that as like how soon localization happens, but keep in mind that it doesn't make any sense for us to do localization before like all of the content's been added, like do all of our voice work before all the content's been added, because we're gonna add new lines, right? We're gonna make a lot of changes, and then we're gonna need to relocalize again. Relocalize? Is that we're just gonna have to do that again, right? We're gonna have to get new voice work done. And it's like every time we make a change, then we have to go back and do these elements. That's gonna really start adding up in cost. And that's not a very effective use of your money that you use to support us. So that's not really the direction we wanna go. So instead, what's gonna happen is that we're gonna build out all of that content. We're gonna get all the text exactly where it needs to be in a later game position, right? Like when I say later game, I mean early access state. It's gonna be much closer to launch. And that's when we're going to apply all of that rich localization and ensure that it is effectively throughout bound to everything that we have 100% established in that game state. So in short, it will very likely be at full release. Might come a little bit sooner. It might come a little bit sooner, but it's not, I would not think that the localization is coming like tomorrow at all. Like that, it's gonna be sometime. It's gonna be sometime. Can we as a community add language support? Whew, that sounds incredibly tedious. I love it. I love your commitment. That can get pretty wild. I really appreciate it though. And especially as you're playtesting, if you catch word like typos and grammatical errors and stuff, let us know. We'll absolutely fix it. Can you hire an NPC merchant to help you? You can call a NPC merchant in the game as of right now, the Flying Duchess. There are specific locations that she'll travel around. In regards to like buying, like hiring a merchant, no, you can't do that. That's not a current capability in the game. Can we please get a slider in settings for inertial dampening? That way we can adjust the aggressiveness of it. Is that desired? I feel like with inertial dampening, you either want it on or you want it off. Is that something you guys really want? Because what I could see is I could see like a certain item with a modifier. Say like you have a booster that adjusts your inertia dampening. So now it becomes part of a hindrance or a benefit, if you look at it like that, to an item that you find that allows you to customize your loadout, as opposed to it just being an in-game menu option, just go click. Especially with a slider. A slider feels, I don't know how I feel about sliders, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that might be too much. I don't know. Everyone's shouting yay, so maybe I'm wrong. It's certainly something we can talk about. Certainly something we can talk about on the forums. So, thank you for the suggestion. You definitely stopped me for like 2 minutes. All right, let's search this area out. See if we can find this item. Right there. Whoops. Beautiful. See what's in this container as well. All right, let's take it back. Will the progress be wiped after release? I'm gonna say very likely. Whoop. So like going from early access to full release, you will very likely start from ground zero. I don't think it would be healthy for you or for us to carry over a save in that state. I actually did talk about this earlier in the stream. I do encourage you guys to go to the Discord and check out the Ask Questions channel and look at a pin to kind of explain the nature of save states and why it actually hurts you more than you think when we carry over those saves. Charging sounds interesting. Okay, all right. You guys are throwing so many ideas. That's good. I do want to be a source of information for you guys during these streams, though. Trying not to turn it into like a suggestion stream. Keep that in mind, because I love ideation and theory crafting and stuff like that, and I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the opportunity to get your voice, specifically your questions, tackled during the course of these. So please, 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 if you do have suggestions and you're like really trying to push a conversation in chat right now, I implore you, truly, to instead go to the forums, jot down your thoughts, make a post so that we can have a follow-up discussion. Everybody can get on that thread, very easily searchable, very easily cataloged for us to make sure that we hear you, where it's fleshed out ideas, and then we can maybe move forward with that, or not. You know, we can truly have that discussion.
It's all done.
Thank you.
A Carbon Panther asks, hey guys, just hopped on and I posted this question on the Steam forum with no answers. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. But I promise you, we're lurking. But will you guys be able to, we've had so many forum posts. Okay, all right. Will you guys be able to add ray tracing graphics into the game? I believe that we have ray tracing in the game state currently. It's not like we're using it for like every single thing, but there is a partial amount of ray tracing currently in the game. We're not trying to, we want to make sure that there's a very fair balance of the visualization of EVERSPACE 2. Obviously, we want it to look as best it can possibly be, but we also are trying to make sure that it's not going to kill your 10-year-old potato computer, right? So there are a lot of features in our submenus, for example. So like when we go to our settings, you know, we have a lot of preset settings. We have your resolution, obviously, your gamma, obviously, VSync, obviously, FPS cap, that can be nice. We have SSGI, we have motion blur, chromatic aberration, lens flares. All of these you can kind of tweak and customize. There will probably be more options that show up through here. Oh, there's no ray tracing in the game at the moment. Thank you for that correction, Michael. Thank you. My misunderstanding. That's my fault. Ray tracing shadows and DLSS planned for 1.0, maybe sooner. Okay, it might have been, did we have a version that I tested with ray tracing shadows and we were seeing what it looked like? Maybe that's what it was. But either way, no, it's currently not implemented in the game. Sorry for that miscommunication, but we are looking into it. We are looking into it. Really do appreciate that. My boss laying down the law, giving them sweet deets. Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate that. Okay. We've done a couple jobs. Let's fly around to some significant locations. Let's do that. There is one location that I would like to venture towards. We have enough time. It's a I don't know if you want to call it spoilery or not. We're gonna go over here. We'll go over here. Metallic paint job still looks so good that I would have believed you if you said it was RTX. Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, we're really happy with the style and the look so far. Oh, a distress call? I really get those. I'm taking this. I'm taking this. Y'all have to wait on me. I'm doing this one. Thanks for the question, Carbon Panther. Sincerely. I mean, these streams are for you.
We're being attacked.
Nice quick cleanup. Okay. Another ship color. Oh my gosh. Oh, we got sunburn. Emissive. Oh. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but orange is my favorite color. I am pleased. I am pleased with these results.
We've made it.
See you later. All right, beautiful. Glad I was able to do that. Thanks for waiting. Is that a luminescent color? Yes. So basically, there's two types of colors on your ship. I can't go into photo mode here. Hang on. I'm gonna go to the dark side of this planet. Oh, that's not gonna help at all. Oh my goodness. All right, hang on. Hang on a second. So it's really hard to tell. I gotta turn off the lights. Hang on. It's really hard to tell really what's going on, but you can tell very quickly, like the lateral thrusters, where they're coming from, because they're the ones in blue. We actually can customize that green color that's coming through. And depending on what parts and pieces your ship is composed of, because it's a modular system, allow me to show you a little bit. Those lights can actually show up in different ways in different parts of the ship. Okay. So like green back there, for example. So like there's a bit of customization in your overall style. I could also change the engines and the wings, but for now, you get the picture. And these are dev commands that I'm using to show you this, okay? We have to test to make sure it all looks clean and good. There will be more customization for your ship in the future, so if you want to pick different parts and ships and put them together, that's very likely going to be a thing, but that's far down the line, so just know that. Anyway, so yeah, those lights we can actually customize. In regards to the paint jobs as well, we can also customize those. So like, it also affects interior lights as well. There are 2 different emissive lights that you can modify. In the case of this ship, those emissive lights are fairly low. They're fairly low. Okay. And now I borked my game because I've been playing around. This is what happens when you use dev commands. Okay? Look at the wings. All right. Tell me what the problem is you see here. Okay? See this? Look at my health bars. This is what happens when you screw around with dev controls and why it's not live yet. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to go back to the main menu and we're gonna fix that. Also, it seems that I need to pull my green screen over because I bumped it back. That should cover that corner. There we go, much better. All right, so we should just be able to continue right where we left off and our lights should be back on. Need black and gold paint? They're both in there. You can find them. Did we fix it? Yeah, we fixed it. All right, much better. All right, so let's take out some outlaws and then we're gonna go exploring that site down there because it looks very curious to me. A demolisher. At least it's just a proto scout and a couple drones. It's not too bad. Let's see if we can. That was actually really close. I don't know if you guys can hear the audio difference in first person, but I love it. Got him. Neat. All right, so where's that site? Ah, yes, the big glowy bits. This is where we shall go. Cheating in a single-player game should be allowed, in my opinion. I mean, sure, why not? But first you need an actually complete game in order to cheat in. Am I right? If we're allowing you to cheat through early access, what type of data do you think that we would be drawing for balancing our game?
What? Hive, do you see that?
If by that you are referring to the ancient structure up ahead, I would be able to offer some information. The ancients were believed to be higher beings, distantly related to and revered by the Okkar. They ruled over a powerful and far-reaching empire, yet they mysteriously vanished from historical record some millennia ago.
You don't have to tell me. I painfully remember our previous encounters with them. Let's just hope I don't run into one of those wardens again.
Yeah, that would be really bad, wouldn't it? All right. pulse laser. Delicious. Container. Oh, nanos! Give me them sweet, sweet nano injectors. Yes, please. I'm just gonna do this. Nice. Excellent. Is there a demo for the original still? I don't think we ever had a demo for the original EVERSPACE. I don't think we did. If you're referring to the original demo of EVERSPACE 2, actually, can we talk about that for a second? That demo was old. I thought it was fascinating to me. Just like cut to the chase. Let's be real, all right? Real dev talk. I was so incredibly fascinated at how much praise people were talking about with that demo, because honestly, like, from the demo to the current build, like, holy crap, is it so different, guys? My concern, and a lot of our concern at Rockfish, and why we actually removed the demo, is because it actually gives the wrong interpretation of what our vision is for EVERSPACE 2. So that's a big reason why we ended up pulling that demo. We don't feel it is a strong representation. Is another demo coming? Possibly. We might end up doing that. I'm not sure. But that if we go in that direction, we'll make an announcement about it before we post it, and then so like all you guys can share it with your friends and whatnot. But yeah, like seriously, I was baffled. People say like, "Oh man, I tried the demo and the controls were so good." Really? By the way, the controls were kind of not so great in the demo. Just straight up being honest. I am straight up being honest. They are so much better in this current version. But anyway, so yeah, that's how things move forward there. Nano injectors and nanobots feel similar. Feels like it should only have small, medium, large nanobots, and perks could make them immediate. So Corius, I will straight up tell you that there is a revamp coming to consumables in the future. I don't know how near or far it is, but your feedback is noted. And I think that you'll actually really enjoy the updates that we make to the consumables in the future, whenever that is. So there'll be a big discussion surrounding that whenever we get there. So for now, you are just gonna have to deal with the current implementation of nano injectors and nanobots. I am sorry. But it works. It works. It's not, I mean, I'm not saying that in a very pleasing fashion, but you know, sometimes you just gotta go with what you got, you know? The game's certainly not done. I never claimed it was. Whoops. Bumping around my ship. Whoop. Aethium crystal shards. So you guys might be able to note like the organization of this structure, this ancient structure. This might look kind of similar to some stuff that you've seen out of EVERSPACE 1. Intentionally so. We do like having that nice lore-driven consistency. We also have this. And I just want to show this right now. This is very important to show. Because it looks like it's blocked off intentionally, like you were supposed to be able to go through there, but you can't. Okay then. Fly into the laser? Eh, sure, why not? All right. You guys asking, I'll show you. It's nothing crazy, but we did make sure that, you know, it is applicable to your ship. So let's just, there we go. Oh, got pushed down. Got thrown around a bit. The sound is a little strange. Now keep in mind that we're not like putting a lot of emphasis on that. We just want to make sure that if you bump into it, like it affects you. Okay. There could be more from that. I don't know. It's definitely not a priority. All right, take our copper. Let's come over here. Oh, look at this GMB freighter getting ready to dock. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Definitely things going on here. Neat. All right. Cool. Craftable consumables. Might be in the future. That's misleading. There will just be a large update about consumables in the future. We'll talk about things when we get there. We'll talk about consumables more when we get there. That's what I mean to say. Let's go to Yaman Orit. Hey, I'm still having a blast right now. Good. Oh, that's great to hear. I really miss my drone play style. Will they return? You know, I'm under NDA, okay? Like, I can't say things, but I can smile. And I can wink. Because I love you, and I love your question. Really appreciate that. Stay tuned for more information. You guys are great. Use sign language? No, that's still a language. If I'm using a language, I'm doing it wrong. Man, I love this place. Oh my gosh, look at this. I know that you've all seen this before, like it was in trailers and stuff, but this gets me every time. It's just like, look at the lighting and the way that it's coming off the ship and like oh my gosh, and you got the look. Oh man, I really like this location. It just looks so clean. All right, let's get back to it. All right.
Not alone anymore.
All right, let's take out this outlaw turret. Scattergun's probably not the best choice here, but he has armor. There's an armor drone nearby. Oh goodness gravy, we got a priority 1 issue. There it is, I see it. Oh my gosh, we're out of boosters? Guys, this is not looking good. That's okay, that's why we gave you devices, to turn the tables when everything's going sideways. Here we go. There are so many guys over here. Goodness gravy. Where's that armor drone? We gotta find this armor drone. Pronto. There he is. How did we miss? Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. Use your lock-on missiles, streamer. Goodness gravy, okay. You know what? Let's get some buddies involved. Much better. Woo! Oops, that was a miss. It's okay. Oh man, much easier when you've got drone buddies. And when I say drone buddies, I mean turret buddies, because we don't have drone buddies. Woo! Alright. Yeah, now that they don't have any armor, they're much easier to drop. Much better. Alright, beautiful. Good, good. Is there another guy over here? Yeah, oh my gosh, he's right there. Beautiful. How are you still alive? He destroyed my turret friends. Moment of silence for turret buddies. Greg and Jeff, you will be missed. Can I get an 07 in chat, please? All right, back to it. Wow, that was a really good response, guys. I'm impressed. All right, let's crack open this vault. But I am glad to see that you guys also care about your good old turret buddies. Never forget. Let's see, where do I put this? Oh yeah, we gotta open this up first. I remember doing this a long time ago and looking like a fool during a trailer. Let's do this. Well, that's been cleaned up so much more. Gosh, that's way better than the last time I did this little mission. Oh my gosh. Improvement good, working as intended. Hans Christian, chalk that one in the logbooks. Much better. Yes, improve. There we go. Bulletproof container. A turnip bypass. What is an Eterna bypass, you might have just asked?
Please, thank you.
Well, let me tell you what. Let's drop some knowledge. So an Eterna bypass, you gain multiples of them. It's a type of software that you acquire throughout the game space. And when you gain 3 of them, you combine these bypass elements into an augmentation module. Now, let's talk a little bit very briefly about the lore, because some people have been like, why is it called an Eterna bypass? What does that have to do with anything? Well, let me tell you. The Eterna system is a network that you are connected to. It's kind of like the internet that gives you all the access to all the information you could ever want, but also shows you like that system where you are and what you're doing. Like when you're connected, everyone knows what you're doing, okay? All the time, forever. So this is a core element in EVERSPACE 1 because you have a hive unit, you're operating from the colonial militarized assets. When Adam actually triggers your cloning process and you're flying towards them, you're connected to the Eterna network. So the Okar know exactly where you're at. You zip away, they follow you, they're tracking you, they're shooting you down because colonial militarized assets are not allowed in the DMZ, okay? All right, now you got the lore. You've downloaded it, you've got it. The reason you're collecting Eterna bypass systems is because at the start of this game, you are not connected to the Eterna network. You will not, because you know that you'll be tracked and followed doing that. That's actually why at the very start of the game, you've ditched your initial ship and you don't actually have a hive unit. You're living under the radar. You don't want to be found. These Eterna bypass chips bypass the Eterna network. So you gain access to new abilities and tools without making yourself known, your presence known. Now you know. We need another one though in order to create an augmentation module, but for the sake of showing, whenever you would get a, whoops, I missed a button, hang on. There we go. Whenever you do get an augmentation module that would appear, you are then able to allocate it. Say you have 2 of them, you're able to allocate it in one of your 6 attributes of your ship. The 6 attributes are firepower, precision, structure, utility, resistance, and expertise. These are in a couple of different fields, like in a couple of different ways are mere stat gains, okay, if you want to look at them as something just on a very basic level, but they increase and modify certain territories over others. So if you're going for just a super strength build of just doing sheer amounts of damage, you want to put emphasis in firepower. Of course you do. In addition, you might want to boost up your precision to get that critical hit damage and chance out of the way. Or, you know, say that that's not the direction you want to go and say that you're all about survivability. You're going to want a lot more structure to get just a straight up whole point bonus and module damage resistance, as well as resistance itself to reduce the incoming damage entirely to your hull, and also your debuff duration reductions on any sort of negative influencing factors to your ship. And such as, and then also like utility and expertise. Expertise we'll talk about in just a second. There's different ways that you can allocate these augmentation modules to push a certain direction to go over another one. Expertise, this one is unique depending on the type of ship you are flying. For the Sentinel, it applies a shield damage reduction. So I do want to boost this up because Sentinels have a much greater shield bonus than other ships, a 30% bonus on here. Man, we need a better shield. But they get a 30% bonus to the shield that you have. So that in conjunction with a shield damage duration, or reduction, excuse me, means you're absorbing a lot more damage as a whole. Whew. All right. There you go. So I'm gonna do expertise and firepower. Whenever we get this Eterna bypass up one more, we can put it somewhere else. Whenever you're stacking higher and higher, the respective slot to increase to is how many bypasses you need, how many augments you need, excuse me. So you would need 2 augments to put into the second. You'd need 3 to put into the third, 4 into the fourth, 5 into the fifth. And you can build them all up as you are going. Okay. Woo. We have covered augments. Very good. What is the best place to buy this game? Steam or GOG? I mean, like, I don't know. What do you prefer? I don't necessarily know if one is better than the other per se. We're just making sure that you have the opportunity to buy it where you would like. The Sentinel's alt is so much fun. I agree. Is there a cap for augmentation modules? Well, there will be, because there are specifically 30, there's 30 slots that you can apply for all of your attributes, right? I think that in a late game state, it will be possible to max all of those out, right? You'd be able to max every single one of those out, but it's gonna take a little bit of time. You're gonna have to be doing a lot of quests. You're gonna have to be going through a lot of those ancient rifts. You're gonna have to be doing a lot of different missions, stuff like that, in order to get all of those built up. But yeah, I think that would be possible. All right. Yeah, I always say GOG, not GOG. Does it matter? Are we here to tear apart the streamer's way that he is splecking to us? Is that why you're here? Because I think there's other reasons you should be here. All right, let's go ahead and scrap some of this stuff because I'm not gonna use it. And oh, better. It's been a while since we poked at some of these things. Oh my gosh, better. Goodness gravy, look at all these things. Wait a second, we compared wrong. Nope, this one's better. Get out of there. Ooh, flak. We're gonna get rid of it. You know what? Right after I did that, I thought I should put that on my gunship. Silly me. I should have sent it back home. Should have stored it. And if you're wondering how to do that, I'll show you right now. So what I just did is I'm transferring this Eterna bypass to my home base. So now it's stored in my home base hangar. The reason I can do that is actually because of a perk that you get with Hive called Autonomous Cargo Dispatcher. Quality of life. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. And then we'll just dump a bunch of this stuff. As we have like 1 minute left in the stream. Holy cow. I should have been using my opportunities to answer questions. I'm so sorry, guys. A couple more questions. Speed round. That's what I want to call it. Speed round. Let's answer a couple questions before we got to pop on out. Can we hear more of Hive's sweet, sweet voice?
I am eternally damned.
Really need a preview of the increase when leveling up. Yeah, no, that's something that we are working on. I have to go. Thanks for the stream. Absolutely. No, it's my pleasure. Flak and Therma are the two best guns in the game. You might not be wrong there. We'll have to see what we can do. Is the controller preferred for this game, or does it play equally with keyboard and mouse? Keyboard and mouse is actually our preferred method of play, but we absolutely have optimized for controller and HOTAS and HOSAS support. Will the consumables be consumable? No, I do not recommend actually eating nanobots. Highly strong disagree. Will there be larger NPC capital ships than the destroyer, both friendly and enemy? Yes, we actually shown concept art. So yes, customizable weapon colors. Oh, I love where you want to go with the customization. And let me tell you what, there is absolutely more customization that we'll be talking about and showing. Mwah. Oh, so good. Is level 14 max in early access at the moment? It is in fact the max at the moment. Keyboard and mouse rocks in this game. Glad to hear, because we feel the same. Are the abilities that were in the demo going to work the same way like the actual game, like cloak and stuff? No, they're not. The demo, what you saw in the demo, a lot of that stuff has actually changed. So they're working in different capacities. Compass on the HUD cockpit. Compass on the HUD and the compass. Wait a second. Wait a second. You mean to tell me that you know what direction north is when you're flying in space? If you have this information, send it to Rockfish. Don't tell anyone about it. I don't think there's gonna be a compass. I don't necessarily know if it's worth it. I think that could just confuse people more. Because like that's, like we're not trying to make like a space sim, right? But I think that it's so far out of range of like realism that it kind of just, I don't know. Probably not. Gameplay up here and love it, good. Excellent. Oh, that's Michael, that's my boss. Ha! Yes. Good, very good. When new ship class will appear in early access, I can't tell you that, that's telling. When we have new ships and stuff that we want to show you, we will let you know. Or more modules for the ships, because you guys have probably seen that the Scout and Gunship both only have one particular set of wings right now. More is coming. Okay, my wife is now letting me know that the stream needs to end. I always sneak in a little extra time for you all because I love you. Thank you so much for being a part of this stream, being incredibly awesome, and just rocking it. Seriously, it's been so good this week, and your guys' interactions and your questions, it has been amazing. So get to those forums, help people out, show love, please. Some people have some really crazy ideas, and that's okay. It is a space to share them, embrace them, encourage the stuff that's good, and healthfully discourage the stuff that maybe isn't. It's great. It's a great space. All right, don't stop being awesome. I won't stop being Eric Schrader, your community ambassador for all things EverSpace 2 and your humble servant. And we'll catch you in the next stream. Toodles! If you missed 8's incredible fan video that happened at the start of this stream, head over to youtube.com/rockfishgames to find a remarkable, delightful video made by our fan, 8.